What's up guys, welcome back to the R33 DE+T build. This episode we finally do have a ball joint service kit tool thing, so hopefully we can get those ball joints out of the Hicas system to get our Hicas lock bar installed and continue on getting this thing back together. Righto guys, back here this morning. Time to get this gearbox in this thing finally and start getting a gearbox cross member made up to suit. And we've also got our diff back and it's been freshly shimmed up by our boy there, Paul, at Option 1 Garage. So big thanks to him. So between these things and finally having our ball joint press kit, we can keep on smashing away at this thing. So let's get it in there. Got some diff oil in our diff back on again. Just some Penrite premium mineral for the diff there. Rex sorted out the gearbox cross member. Rex made it work just by re-drilling the actual gearbox mount and using the center hole on the cross member, and it works really well. So easy done there. So that's all in there. So that's pretty much happy days. Just got to find the tail shaft. So now we're moving on to actually pressing out these ball joint things from the Hicas, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. So when I went to buy this, the actual toolkit that I went into there to buy originally, they were sold out of them. It was annoying because it said on their online shop that they had stock, but when I got there was none there, which was frustrating. So I had to buy this one. The one I originally wanted was like a 21 piece, okay, it had heaps of different sizes. This one's only like an 8 piece or something, so we're very limited with this one. I just figured that at least if we got the clamp and the end plates and stuff, we can use sockets and try and MacGyver up something to get these things out. So that's pretty much what we're up to. It's a bit of a challenge. It's a really hard spot to get anything into or make anything happen with, so we'll keep on looking for a solution and we'll check back in when we find one. All right, we have MacGyvered a solution using sockets and some ingenuity. It's very hard because there's the back of this knuckle, there's no flat face. It makes it so hard. I think we very, very difficult.
Might have to chop that. I think that with the stud is up against that. I think is
cut the thread off with a grinder.
That's what's going on now.
All right. Well, look at that, it's moving.
Yay!
Huzzah, it's gonna work. We also had to obviously take the coilovers out, which sucked. But anyway, it's better than pulling the whole knuckle apart, that's for sure. So, yeah. So anyway, because this socket's short, we just gotta cut the actual thread off so that we can actually push that out properly. So that's what Rex will do now. But the most important thing is that it will work. So get this sorted and we'll be back on our way to getting this thing back together. Yeah. And just like that, they're gone. With minimal time considering, as opposed to completely pulling apart both knuckles. So definitely worth doing. Glad we do finally have a press, like I was saying. It definitely is something that will come in handy and that we will use a lot. So Oh, good stuff. All right, well, now we can get the shocks back in, or the coilovers I should say. And then we can actually get the diff back in, and then the Hicas lock kit can get installed finally. And then it'll be ready for a alignment in the rear end with the new eliminator kit. Righto, so these bushes and rubbers that go in where we just got them ball joints out of are super tight. So as you can see, we just used a G-clamp to get them in. But anyway, that's all good. As you can see, brackets bolt up to the subframe. Now the arms go from here to here, and this bolt goes all the way through this piece into the subframe and gets bolted from the other side. So we'll whack those in and try and set this as good as possible for now that we can by eye. But yeah, the thing's probably gonna need another rear end alignment. But anyway, so we are having a bit of trouble trying to figure out how this kit goes together, to be honest. They supply these two flange nuts, and it's almost like the bolt that goes through there that bolts the top of the arm towards the subframe end. It's almost like it should be done up just on the bracket, and then obviously put through the subframe and then put another nut on the back of it. So, you know, it's almost like it should have a nut there to tighten that properly, and then put it through there, as well as like the way that that bracket sits when it's tight, there's a bit of a gap, like that's how it's supposed to happen. And then maybe put a nylon nut on the end. However, the two flange nuts that they supply are not the right thread for those bolts. They're only the right thread for these fine thread bolts, which are the bolts that bolt that bracket directly to the subframe here, which is a finer thread. So why they supplied nuts for those, I'm not sure. Maybe there is I don't know, maybe there's just a different model that doesn't have threaded holes there. Maybe not all subframes are the same.
Potentially.
And maybe we're wrong and that just is meant to go straight through everything with one nut. I suppose we'd have to assume that for now. There you go, guys, one Hicas elimination kit installed. I've just tied up all the wiring from the old Hicas up here out of the way, so that if, you know, anyone ever does want to put that back in, it is there. Obviously they'll have to put new ball joints in, but it is all there. for, you know, reversal sake if they want to. We did end up just tightening these up without the extra nuts because it's obviously how it's intended to be installed, because that's how it came. I checked online the pictures of this kit on the website. They do have those flange nuts illustrated on these bolts. So obviously they are intended for these bolts. So you don't know, this kit is to suit quite a few cars, not just R33. So maybe there is a subframe on, I don't know, a Stager or something like that that doesn't have those threaded holes or something. I'm not sure, but regardless, we don't need those nuts, and we just tightened that up on its own, and it did tighten up. It seemed to tighten up okay, because we just did that because that's how it is obviously intended to be installed. So that's ready to go. It's ready to be adjusted to get this aligned and have it all working. So happy days. So a huge big thank you to Max Speeding Rods for that. I have not set up an affiliate link with them or anything yet, but in the meantime I'll give you a code of someone who has, so that you can get a discount and it can work for him. I haven't been bothered yet, I have not had time. So anyway, huge big thanks to Max Speeding Rods for sending that out. It's going to be freaking awesome. So yeah, that's mint. And one more thing out of the way. Anyway guys, that will do it for another episode of the mighty 33 DE+T. We are finally making some moves and making some progress, which is awesome considering how long this thing has been here for. It is really, really good for my soul seeing this happening. It's really great. So anyway, tune in for the next episode. We still have plenty of fabrication and things to go on with. There's a lot of work to go yet, so it's not over yet, but it is awesome that it's making progress. Thanks for watching. As always, smash like, smash subscribe. We will see you on the next episode. Peace out. See you. Bye.